My topic, and we'll have to go through this, but it's not too long, is just the psychological side of the game, motivation. And we got this, people were wondering, I mean, the coaches are always wondering, what do you say to your team? And that's the thing about this is there's no real right or wrong answer. You kind of have to figure out what your team needs. The purpose of this is to kind of give you some general psychological things to think about. And obviously the focus is the day of the game. When your players arrive in your locker room, in your space, or wherever you meet, I'm assuming most of you meet with your team before. Sometimes it's on the field. I know youth soccer, I got a game today, it'll be at 11 o'clock. That's the first time I'll see them, and we play in 30 minutes. So to try to get them focused and go is, it's a challenge. And, we're lucky, obviously we have a locker room, an enclosed environment, stereo. I'm sure some of you have that at your high schools, but this is all about when you meet with them to when you kick off. How do you prepare? That's kind of the focus of this. And obviously, I'm going to give you a college model that goes in like a 75 or a 90-minute sequence. But like I said, I know the world. 30 minutes, I got to get my kids ready to go play. So it's all varying degrees. I think the one thing that the key word in this presentation is kickoff. You have to figure out when you're kicking off and go backwards. That determines how you prepare for the day of the game. It all starts with what time you kick off, what do you do before then. So unlike something where you plan at the start of your session and you work back, for there you look at the end point and then start to work backwards and figure out how you're going to get your team ready. Okay, so I want you to think of this like in a general model, like a funnel. So wide at the top, and we're trying to come down narrow, which represents kickoff. If you want to reverse it, you can do the pyramid. You can, start big and then work up and finish narrow. The biggest thing is that there's a broad thing. When we're starting our preparation, we're at the wide part of our base, either pyramid or funnel. And we're trying to get narrower and focused to when we get to that little opening at the top, which is with the kickoff. So that's how I want you to try to think of it. In a general model, an hour before the game, we're looking to obviously, as soon as your game plans come out, your players are doing some visualization. I sometimes just have players, not necessarily in college soccer, because a lot of it's, and Dean said this yesterday, but a lot of this is down to them, especially the older that you get. But young kids, you've got some tricks, close your eyes, think about striking a ball clean, picture the atmosphere, this and that. We try to do a lot of that stuff with the guys, with our college team throughout the whole day. Like, if we're going to play at a place that we've never been to before, we try to take them to that environment so they can see what they're going to come into, rather than the first time they show up and they see the stadium is an hour before kickoff. So if we're in South Carolina, for example, last year, most of the guys have never played at Furman University in Greenville, South Carolina. We got there a couple days early. We train at the place the day before we play, so when we show up at game time and we have to be focused, it's not, okay, I know where that is. It's not, wow, look at that, that's cool, and geez, this, it distracts them. So we try to get them to say, right, seen it. We're trying to get down in there to play. So, imagining stuff, thinking about the team goals and game plans, we like a loose atmosphere. We try to give them their space. Did anyone see the thing on Fox Soccer Channel called Blue Revolution? Chelsea movie. It kind of went over Jose Mourinho's 2 years when he was at Chelsea. And he had an interesting comment. He wants his locker room as loose as possible. Music, joking, laughter. He thinks, even at that level, and obviously they've got a ton on the line when they play, he wants a loose atmosphere. He wants players happy, jovial, especially a couple hours before the locker room. That's obviously not right before the game, but you can't play the game. You can't have your players like this an hour before kickoff. I mean, at some point, that's going to drain them. And then when you need them to be energetic and excited, it's not going to happen. So a loose atmosphere, 30 minutes before the game, players got to kind of get a sense of where they're at. Coaches got to get a sense of where they're at. Are they nervous? Do they need to relax, or are they too relaxed? Believe it or not, we're up, true story, we're up 2 years ago in Vancouver, Canada, about to play the Whitecaps, which is a pro team up there, good organization, and we walk into the locker room and one of our guys is asleep. I mean, we got there early, 2 hours before kickoff, and he decided to put a duffel bag down and, lay on the bench. I mean, Rich and I about kicked him. What are you doing? Wake up. You gotta be sleeping 2 hours before the game. So you gotta, as a coach, you gotta see these things. Depending on how the players' mood are, and eventually hopefully they get to the point where individually they can realize, okay, whoa, I'm a little groggy today, or whoa, I'm way too amped, and they gotta find techniques where they're energized or relaxed, one or the other. 10 minutes before the game, obviously you're getting close to kickoff. Breathing, and this comes from some psychological stuff that I have. In game time, you're really starting to focus on the first few moments. So it's a real general model. And again, we're talking starting wide at the top and narrowing down. And the biggest thing is that, and this, the last statement is probably the most important. As you move down or up, and you're getting close to kickoff, your intensity and the focus has to increase. So the hour before the game, yes, it does need to be loose. I think, the players need to be music, whatever it is they do to get themselves ready. But obviously, as you get down, it has to be a more of a serious mentality because you're getting ready to go play. So focus and intensity increases as you move down the funnel there. Okay, a sample plan. This is similar to what we do. I'll give you an example of what we do, but a sample plan, we're talking a 1 o'clock kickoff, which you'll see on the next slide. This is a 90-minute prep before then. I know oftentimes if you're in high school, you're kicking off at 4 o'clock and school gets out at 2:30 or whatever, 2 o'clock. I mean, sometimes you don't have this luxury. Some of you that play night games, you might be able to have 90 minutes. For us, we use 90 minutes or 75. Usually 75 at home, which is the next thing I do. On the road, when there's more distractions, there's a good debate. Are they more distracted at home or on the road? Good debate. We sometimes feel like it's easier to focus than when we're away. Because at home they have friends and this and that, and they're in their own environment. Or on the road, we have them in a hotel, and they're more focused on the team. So, but 90 minutes before, we'll have a brief, you can have a brief meeting to review the game plan. This mental prep part is kind of what the players need to be doing. And I think as coaches, we really need to stress, and I even tell my U12s, hey, you've got a job to do to get yourself ready. Coaches need to say words, think of strategies, stories, some sort of thing to set the tone, maybe get them refocused, look at an individual who's way off base and say, hey, you got to get yourself ready to go, or calm down, relax, you're way too nervous or whatever. You've got to read that, but they also have to have a part of it. I mean, it's, because at the end of the day, the motivation that really drives people is internal. And coaches can always spark them, and that's your job, is to figure out what do they need to hear. What's going to get them to unite together and play together and work for a common cause. And it's different on each day. It depends on the game, where you're at, the mood, what's at stake. You've got to think about all things. But the players have to have some responsibility. And I think that the mental prep part is kind of what they need to be doing under each thing. So we'll need 90 minutes. Obviously the players need to start to get in check with what the game plan is, see what their body is feeling like, too nervous, too relaxed. We make that meeting, and usually, like I said, this is very close to what we do, 10 minutes at the most, a brief review of game tactics, who needs to match up where, and I put in a sample slide, the second page of your handout. It's kind of a slide, a PowerPoint slide of what we would show the players, what we would tell the players. So we put up our system, play in there, how the opponent's going to play. I think the slide's UCLA. Yeah. We put in our team against their team, what are the matchups, a couple of defensive reminders, a couple of attacking reminders. And, just so that they get to, you can overdo it in that area, because obviously, hopefully your training and your prep for the week gets them ready. You don't want to go over, it's not a crash course 90 minutes before the game, because you're going to overload them, but obviously some reminders are important. And then we'll walk out, we'll give them final 25 minutes to get themselves dressed, taped, whatever it is they need to do, some individual time, listen to music. And at this point, they need to be starting to, after you give them the game plan, kind of visualize, okay, what's their role today?